Alright, we're back again with another ability analysis video. I think it's time to discuss the brand new Splatoon ability, Object Shredder. In the beginning I wasn't sure if it was worth equipping in my loadout, but after experimenting and messing around with it and all the things that it works on, Object Shredder actually seems pretty viable for competitive play. In this video we are going to go through every item I could think of that possibly could be affected by this ability. And as usual, stay until the end for another chart showing everything we will learn. Also, please note that this ability cannot be stacked simply because it is a main ability exclusive to shoes only. Let's start with the more obvious things. First up we have squid beacons. When Object Shredder is equipped, these things get destroyed on impact from any splash of ink, no matter what weapon you are using. This is what shooting beacons with the 52 and NZAP looks like without Object Shredder. Now with Object Shredder, you can see that the 52 gal destroys beacons in one hit, as well as the NZAP. Seeing how fast the beacons disappear is what made me begin to think that the Object Shredder might actually be worth using. The sprinkler acts the same way as the beacon. Without the ability it takes a few hits, and with the ability it breaks instantly. Now moving on to the splash wall, which actually kinda surprised me. Object Shredder definitely does work against it, but not as much as I thought it would. Take a look. I'm really not sure how useful this is. Let's move on to the baller special. Being a non-living object surrounding you, I was almost certain Object Shredder would help destroy it. Check this out. As you can see, destroying the baller with Object Shredder took only 5 hits with the 52 gal as opposed to the normal 7. Next we have a very interesting one, the Rainmaker's Shield. Many people were wondering about this, including my boy Nintendo Ultra. There were many ways I wanted to go about testing this. First, look what happens when two people with the same weapon shoot at it at the exact same time with the same amount of shots. As you can see, no difference, as it should be. Now let's test it with me wearing Object Shredder. Slowly but surely that shield blew up in my color ink, proving that Object Shredder does affect the shield, but seriously not by that much. I honestly don't think it's anything game changing. Here's a side-by-side comparison with Object Shredder and without. Now let's take a look at ink armor. I honestly didn't think this was going to work considering the armor is supposed to only take one hit with the exception of a few weapons. So I thought maybe the decay time would go a little faster, which it doesn't. The decay time seems to be the same. However, when using weaker weapons that take more than one hit to destroy the armor, like the NZAP, those multiple hits automatically become one. Take a look. I think it is pretty cool allowing weaker weapons to get rid of that ink armor very fast. Now to these last two items. I'm slightly unsure about them, but I think the research is correct and they both work. I am showing you the exact tests so you can determine for yourself if they work with the ability or not. I tested multiple times and I can say I'm 99% sure that Object Shredder does work on rails and sponges. Let's look at a couple tests for the rails. As you can see, the rail on the right switched over slightly faster both times. Now let's look at the sponges. The right was fully sized slightly before the left, and all of these tests were frame perfect from the start. So I'm going to say that yes, Object Shredder does seem to work on both sponges and rails. Before closing off the video, I want to quickly discuss the Brella and Bubble Blower, two items not currently playable in multiplayer. While we discuss these, here's the chart showing the data we've collected so far. Anyways, I'm not sure if Object Shredder will break the Brella because in single player it appears to not have a damage cap at all. So I'm going to have to stay between yes and no for predictions on Object Shredder affecting the Brella. Now to the Bubble Blower. My guess is that the ability will affect it, making it easier for you to blow up the bubble in your color ink, whether it be the opposing team special or your team special, much like the Rainmaker's Shield. Anyways, that's it for this video. I'd say Object Shredder is actually pretty useful and not a waste of a slot. It isn't the best ability by any means, but it's not one of the worst either. Well, one more ability analysis completed, and there's much more to come. Quick shout out to everyone in the Discord that helped me out testing this ability. If you want to become a part of the server, I will leave a link in the description and in the comments. Please feel free to join. Hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.